everybody. My name is Suzanne, and I am a news professor here at Bakersfield College. I've been a physical therapist 20 years, so I have not have a lot of experience with face-to-face or online. So I chose to look at student engagement. So how do I get my students engaged in my class? So my question is, how can you create meaningful online student engagement in an asynchronous online course that encourages critical thinking, meaningful peer-to-peer discussion, and evidence of mastery of subject? So in beginning, I wanted to look at what exactly is student engagement and what do my students need to, do I need to understand about this to help my students? So through my research, I found that student engagement is the student's psychological investment in and effort directed toward learning, understanding, and or mastering the knowledge, skills, or crafts that academic work is intended to promote. So it's psychological and a skill set. Student engagement is very important, not just in face-to-face, but of course we're finding in online where students have fewer opportunities to be engaged with their institution, their peers, and their instructors. According to my research, engagement is the key solution for the issue of learner isolation, dropout, to maintain retention and graduation rate for the online learner. And evidence has shown that with good student engagement, it produces good cognitive development and active learning principles to not only be successful in their academic career, but also in their long-term career and in life. So knowing that we need to address the psychological and the skill set for engagement, we need to boost these techniques to create a fully engaged online environment. We need to get the students invested in the course, the content, and each other. And we need to create high quality instruction to produce more effective learning outcomes. So now that we know, okay, we got to look psychological, we got to get some skill set, we got to create this environment. How do we do it? So where do we start? So what I found through my research is it all starts with the instructor and it all starts with the platform. So we're all online now, but not everybody wants to be online. Not everybody's comfortable with the technology. So we need to address that that issue first. So what is everybody's technology issue? Research has found that I found when I was doing my research is that students who fear computer technology may experience confusion, anxiety, loss of personal control, frustration, and withdrawal. So what happens when they do that? They end up not being successful or dropping the course. So some solutions that we can do as instructors, provide a survey at the beginning of the course on everyone's technology level. We can review the technology that's going to be utilized in the course. We can have a little Canvas module on how to use Canvas, how to use any of the technology so that they have resources, they feel more comfortable. And the key thing they also said in the research is that instructors provide prompt responses with technological issues so that student doesn't become frustrated and give up and drop the course or not complete assignments. So the key thing is with the instructor, be comfortable with the Canvas platform, which we're all actively doing right now, and to produce valuable resources for the student to feel comfortable as well and to reduce their anxiety and fear so they can concentrate on the content and not the technology. So we need to get that online technology and feel like comfortable in it. And that's the thing. So once you feel that, get that technology comfort, you set something, a resource up in your Canvas and you're feeling comfortable, we need to figure out, okay, so what skills and how we are going to address the different areas of learning engagement. So I found research on a study that asked 155 students what they found beneficial in promoting student engagement. So they looked at the three types. The first one was learner to learner, and what they found was that students preferred icebreaker introduction discussion groups. So what we could do in ours is produce a Flipgrid video. I know I learned off that Canvas course that a good introduction discussion group. My students really liked it, got me to know the students and started to produce that community, which is lacking a lot in online courses. What the second thing that students, and this is the first thing they found most important, was that working collaboratively using online communication tools was the most important thing for students in learner to learner content. So do we create discussion groups that use text, videos, group work, interaction between their peers, meaningful interaction? The next thing the study looked at was learner to instructor engagement. And what they found most beneficial, what students found most beneficial, was regular email announcements and reminders. So keeping them on task, letting them know when things are due so they don't fall behind. So keeping them constantly engaged and reminded so that they can be successful. The second thing that students found was most beneficial was providing grading rubrics for all assignments, letting them know the expectation and what is expected so that they could complete the assignment on time and efficiently. And then the third, learner to content, what the students expressed was most important and most beneficial was creating real world projects and having discussions with structured or guiding questions. So it's us as instructors to lead the question out, to have them start thinking about it, and then let them interact with each other, put it in a real world application. I know all my discussion groups, I always try to do a theory and then a real world application, and then have them discuss with each other. Try to look at different aspects of it and have them teach each other. But what I took away mostly from this research was that most important to students is for the students to know that the instructor is paying attention to them, that they are supported, they are listened to, and they are communicated with frequent updates. They don't just want to be responsive, but they want you to be supportive. Our communication, I guess, is the key attribute in keeping students engaged, especially asynchronous, right? Because they can feel like they're just a number. A lot of times my students will just say, do you know I'm in your class? And I'm like, I do know you're in my class. So reminding them that they're important. So research concluded that providing support, supportive interactions between instructors was the most valued component of online engagement. So we are the glue that holds them together, knowing that they are supported and creating meaningful learning experience with relatively high expectations. So we have a saying in healthcare that a patient is not going to do what you say until they know that you care. So until you show them that you care, they're not going to do what you comply with you say. Same thing with students. They need to know that you care, that you're invested in them personally, and that you're invested in their academic growth and their career growth. And once you have that, they're invested in you as a professor, they're invested in the class, and they're going to become more engaged, especially asynchronous. We have to be on top of that. So some of the key things to prevent learning isolation and dropout is to recognize those cognitive, emotional, and behavioral aspects that contribute to engagement. Are we listening to our students' beliefs and values about themselves and about learning? How do they learn? Do we provide a lot of different platforms, videos, texts, are we providing different areas to learn? Reading. Emotional. Are we providing motivation? Are we understanding their feelings towards this? And behavioral, one of the most important. Are we creating habits for learning? So procrastination and including skills with writing, reading, and studying. I know one of the things I had to do is teach my students how to actively study and use the material in my course. How to use the notes to read the book, how to use the notes, the outline to do the lectures. I have an actually attendance assignment that has 5 questions. So they're searching for something and paying attention and looking for things while they're reading or they're watching the video. I know when I read a textbook, I just want to fall asleep. So I'm not learning anything. So I want to teach them to actively learn, and that it's not just doing busy work, but we're finding out the answers from theory and then having a discussion group that follows it up with real world application. So what I'm taking away, and one of the big things from my research I found was Chickering and Gamson developed 7 best practices related to engagement. So we need to have student-faculty contact. We need to have cooperation, active learning, prompt feedback, emphasis on time of task. So know how long things take so we're not overwhelming our students, having high student expectations, and respecting diversity, creating social interactions, that having discussion groups that have varying ways to interact. We teach respect and diversity. We have an attitude of cooperation, and we assimilate real world application to content. We need to remember that it starts with the instructor, that we are the glue, that we need to create technology-friendly module. We need to show support and be responsive with our emails and our announcements. We need to invest in our students, and we need to bring theoretical discussion to applicable practice. The research found that by creating interactive discussion groups or assignments with real-world application creates high-level cognitive behaviors, and knowledge of topic content is significantly increased. So by creating an online environment that allows our students to show how to actively engage, giving them the skills and the psychological support to actively engage in our course and show them that we care about their academic career and their future, will allow them to invest in themselves, the course, and teach them real skills to be successful. So thank you. I look forward to your comments and have a great day.